All right, welcome back to the Manufacturing Alliance podcast. This is Chat and Chow. As always, I'm your host, Tony Demakis with Alliance Specialties and Laser Sales, where we do all things mold maintenance, mold repair, mold finishing, everything from polishing to laser welding, laser engraving, hot runner manifold cleaning, preventative mold maintenance. That's backwards. Sorry about that. You would think I'd have this figured out by now, but I don't, and that's okay. Because we're just having some fun. So on Chat and Chow, we just talk about positivity in the world and things going on, which is something that we need more of. And it's Monday, so Hillary's back. If I can unmute her, she'll unmute herself. There she is.
There I am.
Hey, Hill.
Hi. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It is a Monday, isn't it?
Yes.
It definitely is a Monday. I didn't want the weekend to end this week.
I'm not going to lie, I didn't either. Weather was really nice.
Yeah. It was an awesome weekend. I mean, it wasn't hot. It was just a nice weekend.
But I was excited. I'm kind of excited for today, for Monday, because I got to finally come back to the office.
Welcome back.
Yes.
How is it being back at the office? Let's dive into that.
Okay. So I guess I'll start with like for anybody who didn't know, Connecticut was one of the first and last to close and then reopen. And it was end of May, we went into phase one. And technically, we were allowed to remain open the whole time, but we were encouraged to get anybody we could home.
Yep.
And we sent our entire, what we call our customer facing premium team home. That's basically so that if anything happened where we had a COVID case in the shop or anything like that, our sales and engineering team, we wanted them to be able to keep going no matter what.
Yep.
So we got everybody home in March. And then we've been kind of doing tiers of bringing everybody back since May 20th, because we needed to do a lot of moving around in order to enable everybody to have some space.
Sure.
Because in Connecticut, if you are in a manufacturing setting or within 6 feet of people, you have to wear a mask at all times. So it matches my outfit. Don't worry.
How many masks do you have to make sure you match your outfit?
3.
Okay.
They don't always match, but I have like a cute patterned one for the days where it's not possible.
So you're back, which means
I'm back.
Which means you had to be up, ready to go in the office by mandatory all staff meeting time.
Yes, 15 minutes before. If you're not early, you're late.
Yeah. Are you guys still doing obviously, right? You're still doing the all hands deck.
Yeah.
Huddle.
So we paused it when stuff like first started to come out, especially in Connecticut, because we're so close to New York City. So the western part of our state was seeing a spike in COVID cases. So on the eastern side of the state, we haven't really hit that spike yet, but we were very nervous. So we paused it for about a month and a half. And about 2-3 weeks ago, we really started to try to reintegrate those meetings. So everybody spreads out on the shop floor now. We turn the mics and the speakers way up. And so we're kind of just spread out. Everybody wears their masks. For Grateful Friday and what we did over the weekend that we share on Mondays, we literally get in a line 6 feet apart throughout the shop and each go up to the microphone and take a turn.
Yeah, because I was wondering about that, because when I was there, I remember it was literally a huddle, everybody close together.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we can have a 4th of July celebration this year, or this at the end of the month, because we usually do our barbecue at the end of the month. And I'm hoping that we can pair our barbecue with the 4th of July and have a big to do, because we haven't done it in months, and it's killing me because I love the barbecue. I love bringing people together. I love talking about good things we have going on, and we just haven't been able to do it because, I mean, you can print it out and hope people read it, but are you going to go to each person and read the box of awesome stuff, or like what's the way to do it? And I feel like it's been missing. It's been lacking. And I want to get back to it.
Yeah, you have to. I will say that was something, one of the first things that we did was we got, one of the first things that we did is we did a Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
And basically we had two people masked and gloved serving tacos. And basically you would just come in and tell them, hey, I want this, this, and this. There was only one or two people allowed in the conference room at a time. They'd put everything onto the plate for you. Everybody had to wear masks when they came in, took it back to their desk. Now, mind you, we weren't able to interact and engage. However, those are the types of things that we did do prior, and any little slice of that like normalcy, it's not going to be the same, but just getting a little, it's so nice. I went out to dinner for the first time this weekend, and it is so nice. You forget how long it's been since you breathe and just say, that felt normal.
Yep. I agree with you. And, we've avoided doing our barbecues or like group lunches just to try and minimize that. But, there's people that are hanging out together and they're eating together and talking over break. But, to bring 50 people in one room at, the last couple months now, I think people would be okay with it.
Yeah, I think especially outside, we're starting our cookouts this month. So we're changing, we're making sure we have like extra COVID things in mind when we do our cookouts. Like we're going to break it out into groups, but at least those smaller groups of 10 to 15 people can enjoy their time outside together, still be distant, still enjoy a meal with some people. And yeah, it won't be the entire company, but it'll at least be groups of 10 to 15 people getting to share lunch.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the way it usually happens anyways, where people gravitate over to little pockets and
exactly.
And as long as it's nice outside and you're outside, it should be okay.
Yeah.
So are you excited to be back at work?
Yes. Yeah. I think there was a period of time that I was just really enjoying how productive I could be. But at the end of the day, like this is family. So it's just so weird to not see everyone. And when you're working on projects and, being in sales, I'm the one always demanding, like, get my job done faster.
Yeah.
So it just feels uncomfortable and not really the type of person I am to be calling and constantly checking in on my jobs, but not here. And I think to be a strong leader, you have to be present.
Yep.
In this moment, I had to be present by being out of the office because I was asking 10 people to work from home. So luckily for us, nobody on our team really wants to work from home. Everybody likes to be here. So I had to lead the pack by being home and experiencing what it was like and leading by example there. But I'm very, very happy to be back.
And Brian Murphy is listening on YouTube and he says it's a good idea to have people like have it outside, have it separated. And he says, people still need interaction in those types of events for morale. Totally agree. Even more now than ever, right? Because there's so much animosity and I guess unassuredness, is that a word? Of what is what, and to just bring a little bit of normalcy. Like
I'm telling you, just that if it was just 30 minutes in your week of feeling like the world is a normal place, it just brings a sense of ease.
We usually get to it later, but it ties in. This weekend on Elevation Church, they were talking about being tired, and not physically tired, just like tired, like with everything going on between COVID and racial relations and not knowing what's going on, like just tired, just spent emotionally, mentally, physically, not knowing where to get rest. And the fact that it's okay to take rest. You don't have to be. And actually, the last time I talked to Timothy Stoll, was after you and I talked and we had a conversation about how I don't like to rest. And it's very hard for me. And he called me later that day and kind of mentored me on rest and how it's important. And, even Jesus took naps and rested because he knew it was important to rest. So it's okay for me to rest. So he was a good friend there to reach out and just reassure me and let me know that, it's okay. I don't have to just go. I can rest. I can take a pause.
Yes.
Still doesn't mean I'm good at it.
No, That's why I'm marrying Aaron, because he brings me to say, hey, can we just sit on the couch for like 2 hours? Like
Yeah.
weekend comes, I'm up, I'm all right, I gotta get my workout on. This is what I want to do in the house. This is what I want to do outside. This is what I want to do in life. I have a plan. And he's like, it's Saturday. Can we just like see how the day goes?
Yeah. And I think it's so important to have those people in your life to anchor
Yes.
you and pull you back. Like, just chill. It's okay to chill.
Yep.
And Kelly does that for me sometimes, but she also knows that if I don't work out, if I don't do those things, I get a little bit wonky.
Oh yeah.
So it's good to have it from outside sources too. People that you can trust and rely on.
Balance.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. But things are never balanced. They should
No,
be,
but
but
it's
they're
okay.
not.
You should try.
Yeah. It's a good goal, right?
Yes, that's what you're striving for.
Yep. Yep. So now that you're back at work, does that mean things go a little bit more according to schedule? Or is it a flexible schedule? Is it a changed schedule? What does that look like for you now? Or is it
No,
all right back in?
honestly, my schedule didn't really change. I tried to maintain as much consistency when we were home.
Yeah.
So our team still got together every morning to work on improvements.
Yep.
We made a lot of improvements as a team, actually, because we were home and we quickly adapted to engaging remotely. It was easier for us to maintain our improvement meetings than
Yep.
people here who didn't necessarily have the means to all be communicating from their computer. So most of my schedule, I mean, they started at the same time. I took my lunch at the same time.
Yep.
Sometimes I worked more extended days, I would say, when I was at home.
Yep.
And I didn't have like life staring at me in the face, like, the house and the dishes and my yard and wedding planning and all that. So it's going to be really nice to get some separation, but no, I'm busy. I would say the only difference is that I'm here.
Yeah.
But there wasn't much in my day-to-day role that really changed.
That's good.
But I certainly have a space. I'm in a new space. We
Because you
spread
guys
out.
like to do that. You like to do that anyways.
Yeah. Luckily, when we ask somebody to just pick up and move, it's not a big deal here because amidst COVID, I think people moved 3 or 4 times. Like first we were like, all right, we're going to spread out. Then we spread out more. Then we moved home. Then we moved back. Then we moved desks apart from each other. So we've moved quite a bit over the last few months.
Y'all are crazy with that. That would be the hardest thing with me working there because I bring too many knickknacks and trinkets. I would need a solid day to move
You can
all my
still have
stuff.
knickknacks and trinkets.
Yeah, but you got one. Look at this. I got.
No, I have 4. Aaron brings his whole Lego set. He has like Legos that he builds and moves with him.
Nice.
So it doesn't, you can just get really good at it. You get streamlined at like, okay, I move this area and then I move this area. And we have all the desks around the shop are the same.
Okay.
So it's not like you're trying to fit your stuff into new areas. You can literally move one cabinet to the same cabinet at just a different location.
We have a hodgepodge. We get our equipment through auctions and what's available and hand-me-downs. It's a very eclectic look. Everybody has something different.
We were similar, but we found that with this, it was really nice to just be standard across the board.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So last Friday, Brian Murphy says, are you at full production or does it still have to be partial for you?
We have actually been able to maintain full production the entire time.
Yeah. That's where it's at right there.
Has changed.
Yeah.
So we've been getting a lot of questions about like, what do the phases look like for you? And like, nothing's really that different. And even though some of us weren't here, everybody's day still was full.
Yep.
We had one designer that quote unquote ran out of work, but with cross training, we just utilize that time for them to become cross trained in quoting.
Yep.
So
how about you, Brian? What's going on with you? What's going on with your job? Tell us what's happening. Last week on Friday, we talked with Christina and about trade shows, which is the thing that people want to know about right now. Cause this is typically trade show season, right?
Yes, it is.
We're seeing each other face to face all the time because we're going from, MD&M or Amerimold, and then IMTS, and there's just it's
Yes.
trade show season, and they're gone. So we talked with Allie and Christina about Amerimold Connects on Friday, and that launches tomorrow. And you guys are doing something totally different, which I think is cool.
Yeah. So I took matters into my own hands because
No, you?
no. We thrive on those face-to-face interactions, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily even generating new business, which is really great. But
Yep.
for me, those trade shows actually just give me an opportunity to connect with 10, 15, 20 different companies, suppliers, prospects, customers in one place for the cost of one flight. So, and by doing it all together, it gives me personally such a pulse on the industry and how things are going. So it serves such a multitude, of benefits for me. So we're doing something called Caffeinate and Connect.
Yep.
It's basically a Zoom meeting. It would be face to face, very similar to what we're doing like this, but it
Yep.
wouldn't be broadcasted live. And basically, it's just a chance for us to have the same conversations that we would be having at the trade shows.
Yep.
And we're doing it centered around trade shows because this isn't just I want to call and catch up. This is all of our businesses are missing out on a part of our annual strategy. Let's keep the, progress, and let's have those conversations. So we're going to share about the new machines we have, any new members of our team,
Yep.
all the things that we would normally talk about at a trade show. And we're going to ask our suppliers and customers to do the same for us, and talk about how we can support each other to finish out 2020 strong.
Yeah. And I love it because it's totally outside the box, but it's just a conversation that you would normally be having.
Yes.
And
that's the thing, is it's not really that outside the box. It's just, instead of waiting for something to come into our lives that
yeah.
can generate those conversations, we're utilizing the tools that we have already in our hands, to
Yep.
facilitate those same conversations.
Yep. I think it's great. I know we have to schedule time with you. We haven't done that yet.
There's 3 weeks, so plenty of time, but do it soon.
Yeah, we've been finalizing everything for Amerimold. And what's nice is, in years past, that could have caused a little bit of a tension because you're having a thing and MMT is having a thing. But right now it's easy because you don't have to go from Chicago to Connecticut. You just have to switch channels.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah, and that was one of the things that I wanted to partner at this time, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to encourage everyone to not be stagnant.
Yep.
We can still do all the same things that we would normally be doing virtually.
Yep.
And, maybe it's like my experience with having to be on a global team. But I'm not afraid of doing things virtually. Do I think there's something you can't get out of not being face to face? Absolutely.
Yep.
But you're only missing out. I would say you're missing out on 20%. So why would you just sit at home and not try to get the 80% that's available to us?
Yep. And I think the part that's missing out is the part that we were talking about last week, which is the building the actual friendship relationship part of things is harder to do virtually, kind of. You just have to find people willing to do it. Yeah.
And I think that's the key. We just had a new prospect from Hawaii reach out to us.
Ooh, I'll come with.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
And we both committed to saying, let's get on a virtual call and let's meet each other.
Yeah.
And it was, super different times. I think it was like an 8-hour time difference. And we got on a Zoom call and we were face to face, and, we're smiling and laughing. It was great to meet you. And, of course we were missing some of it, but by being on a Zoom call and turning your camera on, you at least can see facial reactions.
Yep.
And that's, one advantage You might not be at a bar, having a drink or sharing a
Yep.
meal or a coffee, something to break the ice. But you can still get, like I said, it's not 100%. I'm not saying it replaces it,
Absolutely.
but it
But
can be close.
the engagement is there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
something different to see the person you're talking to and have a face to
Yes.
face, whether or not it's like I can touch your face or like, which
Yeah.
I can't do now anyways, because
Don't
that's
do
against
that.
the rules. No touching, no touching, especially the face. No touching the face. So yeah, I think it's a cool idea that you guys are doing. I'll be interested to hear how that works out, and then maybe we'll steal it
Go for it. It's not
or
stealing,
borrow
it's
it, or
sharing. It's
yeah, or
sharing and borrowing.
yeah, just using the idea.
Go for it. I've
Yeah,
already had somebody not in directly correlated to this industry, just somebody I know reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I love that idea. Do you mind if I use it?" And I was like,
yeah,
I mean, it's not, I don't own it. I just was trying to tell people, come talk to me.
yeah. It's the same thing, right? You just miss conversations. You miss doing that part
Yeah.
of sales where, you want to be in that space.
You have to give, so at the end of the day, you have to give people a reason to give you something. So if what I'm trying to gain is some of their time,
Hmm.
and more importantly is I want to see their face. I want to know how they're responding. When I say
Yep.
how's business, I want to see their facial expression.
Right.
When I say what can we do to support you, I want to see their facial expression. Um, and so in order to do that, what am I giving them? You have to motivate someone for something. You can't just say, come talk to me. Trust me, I've tried. I've been trying to get face-to-face meetings with customers.
Yeah.
And it just not as, I was surprised at how few people are wired to switch to using cameras.
Well, uh, yeah, because we had that when all this first started. I wanted the more face-to-face interaction with people, and just even in some of our internal meetings, I would say, "Let's do a FaceTime," and they'd be like, "Can you just call?"
Right.
Like, or I would
Right.
send them a FaceTime, and they would just like put the phone so it was pointing at the ceiling,
Yes. Yep.
and I'm like, "No, that's not what it is." Like, I need. Maybe I'm selfish. Maybe that's part of it too.
I think it's just how we're wired. Like I, by default, if I want to call a friend, I FaceTime them.
Hmm.
Like ever since FaceTime came out, I'm a FaceTimer. I mean, I could literally be calling my parents or my siblings to just simply say like, "Hey, how's your day going?" I FaceTime.
Yeah.
So that wasn't and I've gotten to see like my girlfriends and things more since this happened, because now we're getting on Zooms or FaceTimes all the time. Before it was like, oh, we should all get together, and now we're just doing it virtually. So
Which is almost as good.
almost, it's
Yeah.
almost there.
Almost there. If you had a robot that went with that would give you a hug, it'd be better.
Hugs. I miss hugs.
I'm breaking all the rules. I've gone back to them.
I mean, we've broken the rules with our family,
Yeah.
and we have two friends which we've brought into our circle. So we're slowly, expanding. But I wasn't hugging like siblings that I didn't live with or anything.
Mm,
And so this past weekend, I hugged, and it was
yeah.
just so nice.
Yeah. We weren't
I walk around like the way people are like, hey, and give handshakes. Like I hug.
guilty. Guilty.
So so I've definitely awkwardly hugged people before. We're like, why are you hugging me?
Yeah.
So I mean, I bet you majority of the population is happy that hugs are not a thing right now, but
Yeah.
really struggling.
I did that at the first with Michigan chapter AMBA golf outing that I went to. I was signing in, and the woman behind the desk, um, apparently she looked over my shoulder and saw somebody she knew, and she like started coming out of the table like with her arms open. I was like, all right, cool, let's hug it out. And I gave her a hug, and she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, that's cool, I'm good. Like, now we're friends.
Yeah, there we go.
It's funny how that
Yeah,
works.
it's it's just interesting because I'm thinking now about how many people I know who are probably so grateful that hugging is not a thing now.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I, I'm
Whenever I
good
see
with it.
you this year, Tony, I'll hug you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, at least September 25th. because that's the golf outing.
Okay.
We are having
Okay.
it.
I
We're doing
mentioned
it.
it. Yes, I heard. Okay.
Because why not?
Golf's easy. The golf course is never closed in Connecticut.
Really?
Yeah, never closed.
Ours closed. And then it went to 2 people at a time in separate carts.
They had rules for like social distancing and extra cleaning, but that was really it.
One of our friends runs a golf course, and he said they had to put pool noodles in all the cups, and then the flag, and the pool noodle stuck out over the cup. So if you hit the pool noodle, it counted as in. I thought I
But
should have.
people weren't.
Yeah, so they didn't have to reach their hand in the cup.
That's a good game. I would crush that game.
I know, because I missed the short ones.
I would be great at that. Or it goes over, or it like
Yeah.
goes right over the hole. Like
That's yeah.
it's like bumper. It'd be like bumpers
Yeah,
for
and I
golfers.
missed my
like
opportunity to play at that time. So now I just got to play with real rules again.
Yeah. I haven't been practicing, so I should probably get on that.
So have you signed up you've signed up your teams for Amerimold Connects?
Yeah, I'm very excited about Amerimold Connects. I have to share personally, when they first launched it, I was like, I don't know if I have the resources to prep for this, and I don't really know what it's going to be. And again, in order to participate, I would have had to dump resources. I was home. And when I logged in to register as an attendee, I was so impressed with what they have done. I'm so impressed with every one of the exhibitors. And so I thought, both my dad and I saw this as an opportunity we always say how tough it is. And this is why we were so bummed about the AMBA conference, is only a few people in your company get out and get exposed.
Yes.
Your salespeople, management, once in a while, right? So if you think about the percentage of your company and how few actually get out and get exposed and grow the way that you and I do.
Yep.
It's so frustrating for us, and we're constantly looking for ways, but at the end of the day, we need our machines running.
Right.
So we're taking advantage of the opportunity to have a free digital, very low investment option.
Mm-hmm.
And we both are picking 5 sessions that we want some employees to attend. So in addition to me, MJ, the sales team, Kylie, we're also going to try to find another 5 to 10 employees to be able to register and attend a few sessions.
Sweet.
So,
well, ours is pre-recorded, so no rush. You can watch the live ones first, but ours is pre-recorded. It came out really good.
What's your topic?
So our topic is, because we do so much here, it was hard to, and we don't really educate people, like, because they wanted us to do something that had to do with education, and it's hard to narrow that down and encapsulate everything that we do as a company. So what we looked at was, we have so much talent and experience on our staff, from polishing to hot runner cleaning to preventative maintenance to laser engraving to laser welding. What if we just took that opportunity to take the leaders from each of those divisions and do a Q&A, so that we can share tips and tricks, like, what do we need as a company to give you your best laser engraving job? What are some things as a polisher you wish we would get information from the company? And how do we do that? And then to take it a step further, we had Durachrome, who is a partner of ours in the same building, be part of the conversation to explain that, to explain more how our hub works and everybody as a unit, and what their part of our unit is. And then we also had Chuck Klingler from Jandler come in as a customer to give his opinion on how things work through our company. And he's got so much knowledge and experience anyways. He's the Chicago chapter president of AMBA and all the other things. So he shared his knowledge on, what is important to get jobs done right and everything. And we ended up recording for like an hour and 20 minutes, and we cut it down to 36 minutes, but we've got a lot of extra tidbits that we're going to end up putting out in different spaces. But it was some good conversation that kept coming out of it. And Jason, who runs Engraving, just like afterwards, he grabbed me and he was like, dude, thank you for letting me be part of that. I learned so much just sitting and listening to these guys than being part of it. Either way, I appreciate it, but learning from all the knowledge that was at the table was incredible.
That's awesome.
So,
and that's
yeah.
exactly what I'm hoping to utilize the event for, with our team. Is I'm really hoping, I'm definitely going to try to get somebody, like Danny or Jason, somebody from
Yep.
our team to listen to that session. There's one on 3D printing. So,
Yep.
but like, when would our team ever have the access to a mirror mold content?
Yep.
None.
Yep.
We send 2 to 3 people every year. So those 2 to 3 people.
And that's something when Troy is on in a couple weeks, I'm going to try and, dial up a little bit. I'm going to be sensitive about it. Just, I really, really, really wish that they would have more, or they would offer the sessions recorded at the end so that you could bring that home. You could bring that home and teach your team about leadership. And I know they encourage people to bring more people from their team. It's just so hard because you have to get the parts out. If there's nobody doing the work, there's no work going out, and there's no way to pay for the conference, and you can't just take a whole day. But if you could break down that 3 days into 3 weeks and just do one session a week with your team, I think it would be so worthwhile.
Yeah, we do that a lot as a company. I will say, again, thanks to COVID, the AMBA has put on so many things virtually lately that they have become such a great resource in a way that I don't think I've ever been able to engage and be supported as much as they have recently.
Agreed.
But more importantly, the emerging leaders portion of it was kind of stagnant getting us started because it's so hard to get companies to send multiple young people. They're hungry. They're usually in, all in jobs. And typically, it's management and, higher executives going to these things. So it's been a great opportunity. I mean, we've connected almost monthly or almost, twice in a month. And I'm getting to expose other employees in the company that wouldn't have had access prior. So.
Yeah, I think, we talk about it every week, all the quote unquote benefits that are going to come out of COVID in this situation. And I think there's been a lot of growth and learning for people and just a way to push into the next level of things. Right.
Yes.
The video we did for Amerimold is something that we've been talking about internally for a long time.
That.
We just never had a way to do it or never had a reason to do it. And this gave us that reason to push through and do that. And then as we started talking about it, more things came up and more things came up.
Yeah.
And we could have just kept discussing for forever. One of the things that a video that's come out of it that we're actually finishing today to try and hopefully get up for Amerimold is on engraving electrodes. So that you don't have to worry about doing any damage to the electrode when you're making it, because the laser just blades it away and you don't have to worry about anything getting chipped or cut or anything. And it's faster, it's easier. There's no consumables. And part of that came out in the conversation. And we were like, well, we can do a video for that in like 10 minutes. Let's just do that. So we're finishing that today as another training thing, just another useful tip. And so, before we jumped on here, we were doing some of the recording for that video, and it's a ton of stuff and it's a ton of opportunity, and we have to take advantage of all that.
Yeah, I think everybody's been so pushed out of their comfort zone that, I mean, there's like pretty much nothing that scares me anymore. We had been saying we needed to like record videos and use them on social media, and we don't have the good equipment, we don't have whatever. I literally recorded a video and posted it to LinkedIn from my house, and was it perfect? No. But before this like concept of perfection, I think has just kind of gone out of the way, in the sense of just do better, just be better, try it. The whole world right now is adapting and growing. And you have to put that hat on, otherwise you're not going to survive. So
and
it's getting easier.
There's definitely something to like Nike, just do it, right? I mean, don't overthink
Mm-hmm.
this. And Christina was big about that because, with that video, when they first told me about it, they told me and I had like 10 days to get it up. And I was like, are you crazy? You want me to produce a 36 to 40-minute video in 10 days? And her and Allie both looked at me and they were like, you have to lower your standards. It's not going to be to your
It's not
level of
that hard.
perfection, but get it done. You're going to miss an opportunity. And so we had to look at it and figure out how we were going to do that, how we were going to make it work. And I think it turned out really well. We still did
I'm excited to watch it.
we still did multiple angles and lighting and the whole thing. But, most of the videos that we do are on our phones. And then
Yeah.
we just edit it and post it. I mean, the phones are so good now.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need, and this is, you don't, I love you, Todd, but there's a different level between a Todd Shewitt video and then a video
Oh, yeah.
that we would do. And the ones that we do for LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or any of those things are for a different purpose than a Todd video.
Yeah.
And they
Yep.
still have to show what you offer. They still have to have a story. They still have to be good. But not everybody can wait for Todd and not everybody can afford Todd. And Todd does a great job of meeting people's demands, but his expertise comes at a value. And,
Mm-hmm.
if it's a matter of not doing it and only using Todd, you should do it. You should go out and do it.
I think that's the thing is like for us, like using videos in marketing, we constantly have been held back because we needed the right equipment and we needed a person and we needed editing. And I mean, I definitely want our videos to improve. However, we took the first step.
Right.
And now we're not afraid. And we learned a lot about lighting and the setting behind you and, little things. But at the end of the day, it really wasn't that hard. And so I'm very excited. I mean, email marketing in general had been put on my back burner. And we have this amazing woman, Emily, that we hired who's starting to take over it. And I was not giving her my time or the right resources for her to take over. She basically executed our Caffeinate and Connect. And that was possible because we were able to spend 1 to 3, 4 hours a week during COVID focusing on that. So, do I miss being home? Yes, because there was a lot less interruption. So when I scheduled my day, it could pretty much go the way my day would go. That is the only, I would say, thing that was drastically positive. But, and abiding to, the state's rules, but. So how about you guys? What are you guys going to do? So you're doing a Mirror Mold Connects.
Yeah.
What else are you guys doing for a Mirror Mold Connects other than that session? What else do you guys have on your page or how else are you guys utilizing the show?
So, all the brochures for the equipment we sell is online. All the, we have videos up there that demonstrate the different partnerships that we have, different partnerships that we work with. Diprofill is one of them in the polishing department, and how we do things a little bit unique in that area. Where, some companies you work there and you have to bring all your own equipment in, all your own tools, your profiles, everything. But we took a different approach with that and we reached out to Diprofill and we work with them directly as a partner, strategic partner, where they outfit our shop with profiles so that we can ensure that when I do a job for you, it's being done with the highest level of products. It's not some guy that can't afford a better profiler that's working on your tool. We're making sure that they're checked every week or every month, not every week, every month, to make sure all the settings are right, that the parts are all working, and that they have high quality tools to do a high quality job. Because otherwise, it's not fair to expect somebody to do something that if they don't have the equipment for it. And we want to be able to control that. So it's just an area that we're a little bit different in that regard. So we've got a video that kind of showcases that a little bit. And then just, pictures on what's going on. And there's a video on there that talks about our core values of grit and what that looks like and how that applies to the things that we do. So I'm hoping that people actually give the virtual spaces some time and walk through them and look through them and digest what's in there, because there's a lot of information.
Yeah, there was, when I got in there, I was like, there is so much. It's not just because normally nobody uses that, right? So you can upload things for a trade show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you upload your bio or, maybe an
Nobody
event
does
you're
it.
doing. Nobody uses it. And I hope moving forward that trade shows, even when we go back to being in person, they utilize that exhibitor space so that you
Yep.
can get to know people. And I think it's going to make the conversations that you have during trade shows even more valuable.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, we've put a lot of information in there. I know Progressives put a lot of information in there because
Yep.
I've seen their stuff. Hasco always does a really good job
Yep.
with their information. And it's just an opportunity. I mean, I think
Mm-hmm.
we would have been silly not to do it. And so I'm grateful that Gardner and MMT gave us that platform to be able to push our information out, and at the same time allow other people to let us know what they need, how we can help them, and what impact we can make, and how, bringing both the supplier and the exhibitor, or whatever you want to
Yes.
call it, the participant, together to create that synergy and that success where everybody wins.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing about trade shows. It's not, everybody thinks it's just for sales people and for sales.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome when we sent out our Caffeinate and Connect. The first 4 responses we got within 30 minutes of pushing it out were our suppliers.
Nice.
And I was showing, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's weird. Don't we want customers?" And I was like, "No, I mean, we depend on our suppliers, and these trade shows are
Right.
for communication. They're for
Right.
relationships. And in manufacturing, you always have relationships on either side of you that are critical to your company's success." So,
Yep.
it was really great, and I think that I liked the lesson I was able to teach to everyone. That trade shows are not just for, they're not just for schmoozing with customers.
Not just. Not
That's
just.
part of it, but that's not all of it.
Well, and the other part of it is your suppliers, you're their customer. So
Yep.
everybody has a customer that's there. It's just a
Yep.
matter of that engagement and keeping it moving and growing. Um, so it's really good. I mean, I I look forward to trade shows coming back, but this will be something interesting and exciting. I'm kind of nervous for this week coming up, for them and for us, because I got to figure out what that looks like for my day, right? To put all those
Yes.
things out there that say I'm available to chat live from this time to this time, and what that actually looks like. I mean, I'm always with my phone or my computer anyways. So that's not a huge differentiator for me. But I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be something cool and unique, and I'm glad that they're doing it.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. It's going to
Yeah.
be, we're going to be all engaged here. And we have Caffeinate and Connect conversations this week. So
Awesome. It's growing. This
it's
Zoom thing
growing.
is growing. This darn internet is not going away.
Look what you started. Everybody's on Zoom now.
Yeah. We got more people that just joined the conversation on YouTube. So if you've got something to throw out there, type it in. I'm going to go over upcoming schedule real quick.
Yeah.
I updated it. So Lindsay and Mercedes are the Plast Chicks. I don't know if you've listened to them at all.
I have.
And so they reached out to me, and apparently we're talking about stuff for SPE
Okay.
on Wednesday, Tuesday. Is that Tuesday?
Tomorrow. It's
Tuesday. Yeah,
tomorrow.
that's tomorrow. So that's a show that's not typical. I'm going to post stuff on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook on where you can find that, because it won't be on our typical channel. I got to find out from Lindsay and Mercedes where that's going to be. And then Mark Denzler from the Illinois Manufacturing Association. It'll be interesting to hear how he thinks things are going and what industries are picking up and what's happening. And not just for Illinois, but I'm sure he's got his hands in, national information as well. Scott Smith from DME, again, he's going to be able to give us a great look at what's coming up in the industry. Who's buying, who's not, what are they looking at? What does he think is going to happen? And how is it going to move forward? And plus, he's just a good time. And
Yes.
Gretchen Filal is she started an organization called USA Loves Manufacturing, and they're her and another gentleman, I forgot his name, are doing something similar to this, where they're talking about manufacturing in the United States. And she also owns a company called Magenta. So we reached out on LinkedIn and connected. Gotta love LinkedIn, and
I know.
it led to this opportunity. So we're gonna do back and forth shows where she's gonna come on here, and we're gonna go on hers and talk and just discuss manufacturing in the United States, I think. And then everybody knows Troy. If you're listening, you probably know Troy Nix from the AMBA and MAP, big on leadership, big on getting things done. And
Yes.
so it'll be great to hear from Troy, and I'm sure it's going to be the only show ever that goes 30 minutes on the dot, because I've never seen a man end a conversation better than Troy. And then last on the list so far is Scott Peters from Delco. And, Scott's been watching most of the shows that we've had on here and participating and contributing and sharing his knowledge and information. So it'll be good to finally get Scott on by himself and hear what he's got to say. So that'll be on the 26th. So that I'm excited that it's lasted as long as it has, to be honest with you.
And I do think the viewings and engagements are continuing to grow. Like, I know whether people watch live or go back and listen, it seems like for me, I've loved it, because even though I'm not sitting in on the conversations, I'm getting to kind of see what's going on with so many faces that I would normally be seeing at a trade show around this time. So it's been really nice just to kind of see people and know how they're doing. It makes you feel not alone when you talk about what's good, what you're struggling with. So
and
I've had a blast.
The freedom to be able to have those conversations. I think we've been able to be very authentic and honest through all the conversations, even things that we're struggling with, and just not being too concerned with what people are going to say or judge us about it, because they're probably going through the same thing. They're going through the same thing.
They are.
Your sister was watching on Facebook for a while. Hannah was here.
Oh, hey, Hannah.
And my guy, Corey Cunningham, that I knew from Planet Fitness when we could all go work out. He was listening in with us today.
Hey, Corey, hope you're still working out.
Yeah, I'm sure Corey's doing something. Corey's not a guy to just slough off because the gym is closed.
Nobody should be.
No. So
push-ups are free.
They are.
So are crunches.
They are. And if they get too easy, go get yourself one of those vests, and it makes the world so much harder.
No, nonsense. I'll be
good. So what do we have for prayer requests today? Anybody listening with prayer requests? Type them in the chat. And what about you, Hill?
I think I am just praying for a continued sense of peace to come over our nation and the globe, and for the pandemic to continue to move in a way which promotes the well-being of everyone. So it's here, it's not going anywhere, but I hope it continues to move in a way that isn't going to harm anyone.
No, I agree. I think there's nothing really to add.
There's no more to that.
There's nothing to add to that. No. So,
we should pray for a great, strong month of virtual connections.
That's right. Just connections.
They're going to be virtual, unfortunately, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just even the ones with, you're going to go home to Aaron and you need good connections, Yeah. Everybody for a while was really on edge. And so I think just connections in general and patience, right?
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep looking at the screen. If anybody has anything, just keep adding it. Heavenly Father, thank you for another good day. Thank you for the sun shining and the blue skies today. Thank you that we have an opportunity to connect virtually and in person with our friends, with our family, with the people that we're close to. Thank you for giving us a platform that allows us to reach out and reach more people than just being by ourselves. Thank you for making us creatures of community and creatures of contact. We pray that you would be with all of us as we go about our days, as we continue to lead our companies, lead our people, lead our communities. We pray that you would guide us and stretch us and teach us how to do those things better, and that the ways that we act would be glorifying to you. We thank you for all that you do. We pray for peace for our hearts, for our bodies, for our communities. We pray that people would be healthy. We pray for the end of oppression and unjust, whatever it is, right? You know what we need, God. And we just pray that we would not try and do it all ourselves, but that we would rely and rest on you and know that you're in charge. And we love you. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
There's a lot to get out. I feel like we could just talk for hours, but
next week.
Next week. There's always Monday.
There's always Monday.
It's a nice part of Monday. You know,
I like it.
Monday's not so dreadful. And
this has been great. It took this for us to stay, consistently in contact, but that's okay. I'll take it.
And that's what I was going to say is, like, for months, you and I said, we need to connect weekly and just talk about what's going on in our lives. And we were like, yeah, okay. And then I would call or you would call and I'd be in the car and I couldn't talk, or you would, and then we play phone tag back and forth. And then it's 3 weeks later and then you send a text and you're like, oh no, they're still busy. And then it's another 3 weeks. And then you just like dump everything.
And then it's 6 months and we see each other at
yeah. And then we go, we should do this more often. And so that's been the biggest blessing to me, is just being able to talk with you, talk with, just friends of mine and just engage that way. So thanks, friend.
Have a great week.
You too.
Good luck with Amerimold Connects.
Yeah. I would love your feedback when you go into our showroom. Let me know what you thought of it and tell me how I can get better.
Will do. I'm going to go check it out today.
All right. Have a good one, my friend.
You too. Bye. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. I just want to thank you once again for listening to the Manufacturing Alliance podcast. We love having you as part of the show. We love talking with you, engaging with you, and learning from you. So I hope that you got something positive out of this, that it was encouraging, that maybe you have a good takeaway. And I'd love it if you would share it with your friends or your contacts. Post it on LinkedIn, post it somewhere. And we can all engage and grow together and get better through the things that we're doing. So on behalf of myself and Hillary, just want to say take care and God bless.